The mountain air was crisp as I pulled into the driveway of our family cabin in Pineview, Colorado, my suitcase still in hand and my 8-year-old daughter, Lily, napping in the back seat. I'd cut my Denver business trip short, hoping an extra day at the cabin would soothe Lily's nightmares about her great-grandfather. The place held her happiest memories, a sanctuary of love and loss. But as I stepped out, a woman's shrill voice shattered the quiet. "Get out of that cabin now, or I'll have you arrested," she screamed, brandishing a clipboard like a weapon. I froze, stunned to be labeled an intruder on my own property. Neighbors peeked from their homes, and before I could respond, she was dialing 911, shouting that I was a threat. A police car screeched to a stop, and she pointed at me, chin high, demanding, "Arrest him." An officer approached, hand on his cuffs, but then the cabin door swung open. A commanding voice boomed. "Who's calling my son an intruder?" The figure stepping into the sunlight silenced the entire street. She'd just crossed the wrong man, someone this HOA should have feared. Where are you reading this story? Drop a comment below, because what happens next will shock you. I'm Nathan Carter, and this is the tale of how I nearly lost everything that anchored my family, only to find justice in the most unexpected places. It started with a plan to surprise Lily with a day at our cabin, a place her great-grandfather built, where she felt closest to him. I never imagined returning early would thrust us into a battle with someone waiting to strike. Margaret Hensley, the HOA president, stormed toward me, her perfectly styled auburn hair unmoved by the breeze, her crisp blazer screaming authority. Her name tag gleamed, and her clipboard might as well have been a scepter. She was in her late 40s, radiating the energy of someone who thrived on control. Behind me, Lily stirred in the car, and I braced myself to shield her from this woman's venom. "You're trespassing on property seized by the Pineview HOA for unpaid maintenance fees," Margaret declared, loud enough to wake the dead. "This cabin's been abandoned, and we have a buyer expecting possession today." Her hands trembled slightly, betraying either nerves or excitement. The speech felt rehearsed, like she'd been plotting this for weeks. I took a deep breath, channeling the calm I'd honed in Afghanistan. "Ma'am, there's a misunderstanding. This cabin's been in my family for 30 years. My grandfather left it to me 6 months ago. I have the deed and tax records to prove it." I reached for my phone, but she waved it off, uninterested in facts that didn't fit her script. Lily climbed out, clutching her mother's old teddy bear, rubbing sleep from her eyes. "Daddy, why's the lady yelling? Does she want Grandpa's house?" Her innocent question cut through the tension, and Margaret's eyes flicked to her, irritation flaring. "Little girl, stop clinging to that toy and disrupting a legal transaction," she snapped. "Emotional tactics won't change that you're trespassing." Lily hugged her bear tighter, and I realized we were dealing with someone not just cruel but dangerous. Margaret pulled out her phone with a flourish, dialing 911. "I need police at 1247 Pineview Road. An unstable veteran's refusing to vacate HOA property with a child, and I fear for our safety." Every word was a calculated lie, delivered with chilling conviction. Lily squeezed my hand, whispering, "Daddy, she's lying, isn't she? Mommy said liars are scared of something." Her insight, so pure, hit me hard. Sirens wailed closer, and neighbors emerged, including Eleanor Price, my grandfather's friend for decades, who gave me a knowing nod. A young man, Caleb Turner, filmed nearby, his camera streaming live, viewer count climbing. This could either save us or bury us. Inside the cabin, heavy footsteps stirred, and as the door creaked open, the confrontation shifted. Margaret didn't know her accusations had reached someone who'd heard enough. Officer Laura Mitchell stepped from her patrol car, looking weary, like she'd handled too many petty disputes. "ID and documentation, sir," she said, but her tone softened as a silver sedan pulled up. Detective Emily Park, early 40s, strode forward, badge flashing. "I'm investigating HOA property fraud, and this address flagged my radar." Margaret's confidence wavered, her face paling. Caleb's stream surged, his voice low. "We're watching a veteran and his daughter harassed over their own home. This is power abuse." But the real shock came when another man, Peter Grayson, approached, clutching a folder, trembling. "Margaret, I can't do this anymore. What we've done to these families, it's wrong." He turned to Emily. "Detective, I have records. The HOA's actions aren't legal. Margaret's facade cracked, rage flashing. You coward, she hissed. You know what I can do to your life. Her threat chilled me, but Lily pressed closer, whispering, She's scarier now, Daddy. The cabin door swung wide, and Judge William Bill Thornton, my father, stepped out, his silver hair glinting, his presence commanding silence. Did someone call my granddaughter traumatized? He asked, voice like thunder. Lily squealed, Grandpa Judge, and ran to him, his stern face softening as he hugged her. No one's taking your home, sweetheart, he promised. Officer Mitchell snapped to attention. Your Honor, I didn't know you were involved. Emily Park's eyes lit up. Judge Thornton, your expertise in property law could help. This addressed ties to a pattern of HOA fraud. William's gaze hardened on Margaret. I've been investigating this HOA for months after odd notices about fees reached my son. Imagine my surprise when I learned someone tried to bribe me to ignore fake property transfers. Margaret stammered. Your Honor, this is a mistake, but her voice shook. Peter blurted, She knew you were Nathan's father, Judge. She targeted your family. Caleb's stream exploded, viewers in the thousands. Folks, this HOA president tried to steal from a judge's family, he narrated. Lily looked up, asking, Grandpa Judge, is she going to jail? William's eyes were steel, but he held up a recorder. Detective, this has 4 hours of legal recordings from concerned citizens. Eleanor stepped forward, silver hair in a bun, sharp eyes gleaming. I recorded Margaret's visits, claiming to check on Nathan's grandfather. She discussed targeting vulnerable families, even waiting for his illness to push a sale. Lily's voice broke through. If she takes our house, where do we put Mommy's pictures? The cabin's walls held our family's story, photos of Lily's mother, gone too soon. Margaret's cruelty deepened as she scoffed, but Emily played security footage on a tablet, showing Margaret plotting against grieving families. We target the vulnerable, her recorded voice said, cold and calculated. Lily trembled, whispering, Why does she hurt sad people, Daddy? I had no answer, only rage. More cars arrived, FBI SUVs. Special Agent Rachel Brooks stepped out, announcing a multi-state fraud investigation. Margaret lunged toward Lily, screaming, If you arrest me, this girl loses her home forever. Officers tensed, hands on weapons, but Lily stood firm. You can't take our house, she said, pulling out a worn letter. Great-grandpa wrote this. He said it's mine forever. Her clear voice read his words of love and strength, ending with, Did anyone ever love you that much? Margaret faltered, but snarled, Sentimental nonsense doesn't override legal debts. Rachel's voice cut through. Mrs. Hensley, you're under arrest for fraud, racketeering, and more. Your operation spans 5 states. Margaret's desperation peaked as she dialed her phone, hissing, We have a problem. The judge knows, and the FBI's here. Eleanor marched forward, holding a flip phone. I recorded you bragging about causing 2 elderly deaths from stress, she said, revealing Margaret's ties to a casino developer promising millions. The crowd gasped as Margaret's empire crumbled. Detective Park cuffed her as FBI agents secured evidence. Caleb's stream hit 10,000 viewers, and news vans arrived. William hugged Lily, promising safety. She clapped, declaring, Bad lady, go bye-bye. The neighborhood exhaled, justice served. But Margaret's phone call hinted at a deeper network, leaving us wondering who else was watching. This wasn't just our fight, it was a warning. What do you think should happen to those who prey on grieving families? Should predators like her face harsher penalties? Share your thoughts, because this story's not over.